the multifamily evaluator formula. When you're looking at multifamily apartments, apartment complexes, apartment buildings, when you're looking at any unit, here's a quick and dirty, right? So this is just not a deal evaluator. This is the deal evaluator quick sheet, right? This is like how we scrub a deal really, really fast to know, is it even worth it to go through the executive summary and the pro forma and the financials and the resume and the background, the Schedule E? Is that even worth it? This is how you find out when anyone ever sends you a multifamily apartment deal. First and foremost, we can use broad numbers here. First and foremost, you're always going to get a gross income. That income is usually from the rental income. It also can be from parking income, garage income, washing machine or dryer income, pet fee income. All the total income from the asset, from the building, is going to give you a number. We're going to call that number today $333,241. All right, of gross rental income that you're getting annually from this building, right? I don't care how many units this is. I'm worried about the income and the math on the building, right? So now with that income, there's going to be a host of expenses that we are going to subtract, right, from our gross income for us to find a net operating income at the end of the day. So here's a quick cheat sheet. Many times it's going to be a little off. It's not going to be exact, but it will give you a close estimate when you're blowing through multifamily deals. How I am, where I'm underwriting hundreds of millions of dollars of deals, right? You take 50% as an overall estimate of expenses. So if you don't have all the accurate expenses and you want to get through a deal fast to see if it's even worth your time, you can just take the gross income, take 50% of that, right, times 0.5 or divide it by 2, and you'll take 50% of this income and you will use that as your net operating income, right? This is just a quick way to evaluate apartment buildings, right, that no one's ever taught you in your life. Now, if we were to look at our vacancy rate, so vacancy rate is typically, we'll use 10%. In some cases, you look at the actual numbers and you'll find out the vacancy rate could be higher, it could be lower, it might only be, the vacancy rate could be 3%, and that means that it's rented majority of the time. If the vacancy rate is how often are the units actually vacant, okay? So we're gonna say 10% of the time, so we would take off 10% of this number, which is 33,000 from the math. We know property management is typically, on these assets, could be anywhere from 8% to 10%, right? You might get it lower, might get it more, but around a 10% number of property management. So we know 20% between our vacancy rate and our property management. Again, this is not including the 50. This is separate. The 50 is the quick way, but you would, in a real life scenario, you would itemize every single expense and you would subtract it. Property taxes, right? So we would say property taxes on this asset were $23,000 a year, right? We would say property insurance on the asset, $15,000 a year. Property maintenance on the asset, right? So each one of these things, from maintenance, utilities, miscellaneous costs, you would typically, when someone's submitting you a deal, they would give you all the financial data of income and expenses. But we're going to use our quick way right now as opposed to make up a bunch of numbers. So our quick way is this. This is how you find out the value when you evaluate deals in real life. So we know we got $333,241 of income. We're going to divide that by 2, which is 50%. And so now we get a net operating income value of $166,620, right? So we'll put that here as well. $166,620, actually 50 cents. Let's get that 50 cents in there. We need all of our change. We need all mine, right? Here's the formula, team. Simple as this. You don't have to be a math whiz to do this. All you need is a calculator app on your phone. Once you subtract all the expenses, the real expenses, or the quick way, divide the gross income by 2, right? 50% of it. You find your net operating income. That's how much you actually will walk away with annually from the deal, from the project. So now what you need to do is you need to find out what's the market cap.